prior to meeting Mr. Mosley, had you ever encountered an athlete who told you that he had not been using any steroids and then the urine test revealed that he had been?
Yes.
Okay. Did Mr. Mosley tell you that he had never used any steroids before?
He didn't tell me that he'd used steroids, no.
Right. But nonetheless, you did not ask that he perform a urine test? Yes or no?
No.
You did not ask?
No.
That's correct?
Did not.
Okay. And the urine tests that you have requested of other athletes, did you make that request in connection with your contemplated use of the clear and the cream?
I'm just going to object. It just assumes he made the request.
All right. In connection with urine tests, well, did you ever request that an athlete take a urine test in connection with your contemplated prescription of the clear and the cream?
Not with contemplated use. It would have to do with the effects of the clear and the cream.
Okay. But there was a relationship between urine tests that you requested and the use of the clear and the cream?
Yes, but in the context that not all athletes did the same types of tests. It was not a cookie-cutter program where everybody did the exact same things. Different athletes did different things.
Okay. Let me, can we take a bathroom break?
Yeah,
Don't wait, you gotta let him say that.
Time is 11:02 a.m. Not off the record.
So let's just take 5 minutes.
Time is 11:11 a.m. Back on the record.
Mr. Conte, can you remember, I want to see if I can exhaust your recollection, can you remember anything else that was said during, by the way, you only had meetings with Mr. Mosley on the 26th, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you remember anything else during the first meeting you had with him on the 26th that either he said or you said about the use of EPO? Other than what you testified to?
We made a calendar together.
At that, let me back up. You had a meeting with him, correct?
You have to answer all of it.
Yes.
He then went for blood testing, correct?
Yes.
And then you had another meeting with him, correct?
Yes.
During the first meeting with him before the blood testing, did you make a calendar?
No.
Okay. So I'm now only asking about the first meeting you had with him before the blood test. Did you have any, to the best of your recollection, other than what you've testified to, do you recall anything else that was said, either by you or Mr. Mosley, about the subject of EPO or blood doping?
We did talk about the frequency of injections
Okay, what do you recall was said about the frequency of injections?
and a schedule of blood testing. The frequency of injection was that he would do it 3 times per week for 2 weeks and then get another blood test. And if his hematocrit was at the level that we assumed that it would increase to, that thereafter it would be approximately once a week up until a given period of time before the fight, at which he would discontinue so that it wouldn't be detectable at the fight.
And how many days prior to the fight did you recommend that he stop making use of EPO?
I'd have to go look back at the calendar to be real precise about it, but I believe it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 days. It generally, to clear the system, takes about 3 days.
Okay. Now, what other subjects do you recall discussing with Mr. Mosley and Mr. Hudson during the first meeting on the 26th prior to the blood testing?
we talked about other possible drugs that could be used, specifically the clear.
All right, let's start with the clear. What do you recall that you said about the clear? Oh, by the way, let me rephrase. Who first brought up the subject of the clear?
You talking specifically that day at the meeting?
Yes.
Or, I'm sure that I did regarding an option
Okay.
that was available to Shane.
And what do you recall telling him?
That it was an undetectable substance, that enhanced recovery and accelerated healing and tissue repair. It was an undetectable steroid. And one of the things that was required, because the testing is quite sophisticated, when you take any type of steroid other than testosterone, it suppresses your own endogenous production of testosterone. So I explained that there would be a regimen of taking 1 day of the clear, which was a designer undetectable steroid, and that would suppress your own body's endogenous production of testosterone. Therefore, the next day, he would take a substance called the cream, which contained testosterone and epitestosterone, designed in a ratio that would make the concentration of both those substances in urine be 1-to-1, which is the ratio being normal. So you would suppress Monday, bring back to normal with so it was a masking agent, basically. Then Wednesday, the undetectable designer steroid again, and then Thursday, the masking testosterone, epitestosterone cream, so that and then the other 3 days of the week to allow for health purposes, to allow your own endogenous production to not be suppressed all the time, that you would, on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, not take those substances. So it was basically 4 days a week that he would take the clear and the cream.
And before I ask you about what you discussed with Mr. Mosley on the subject of the clear and the cream, and first, you discussed the clear and the cream together as an option?
Yes.
Okay. And am I correct that they had to be used in tandem?
That's the way they were designed.
When you say that they had to be used,
They were designed to be used in tandem. They didn't have to be, but they were designed to be.
Okay. And before I ask you about what you told Mr. Mosley, are there other than recovery, and I think you said tissue repair?
It helps to accelerate healing. When you train or work out, you create micro tears in the muscle tissue, and this helps to accelerate the healing process, which enhances recovery.
And are there other benefits that can come from the use of the clear and the cream?
All steroids are also central nervous system stimulants as well.
And what's the effect of the central nervous system stimulant?
Exactly as it sounds, it's a stimulant that gives you energy, it's stimulating.